Thank you very much for your company this Sunday morning. We will begin with the latest on our breaking news, that violent volcanic eruption off Tonga. It sent waves crashing into the mainland, inundating communities and triggering tsunami warnings for several countries, including Australia, New Zealand, the United States and Japan.
Beaches along Queensland's coast from Rainbow Beach near Gympie to the New South Wales border have been closed. The scale of the eruption can be seen in these incredible satellite images, with those on the mainland saying their homes shook for several minutes. The eruption heard as far away as Alaska.
Our Today team is standing by with all the breaking details, but first, the moment it all unfolded. A wall of water headed straight for land. The aftermath of this, a massive underwater volcanic eruption that could be seen and felt for hundreds of kilometres. This satellite image showing the moment it erupted. A tsunami alert was issued and the waves crashed in. Homes, churches, businesses, backyards inundated.
There's so many people live in this area and all the evacuation routes out of Nuku'alofa are low-lying. But we have been warned over the last few days to stay away from seafront, and that seems to have worked.
Calls for locals to head to higher ground caused traffic jams. Nobody truly knowing the extent of the damage or where they'll be safe. The uncertainty also felt 800 kilometres away in Fiji.
This is the experience that we are having right now. As we see the island experiencing a kind of waves that are coming. And I'm telling you, this is one of a kind.
With a tsunami alert issued for Australia's east coast, this from the Prime Minister's office. Tonga is part of our Pacific family and our thoughts are with the entire community. Australia now on standby to help our island neighbour.
Absolutely terrifying. You just wouldn't know if the big one was coming, would you? Let's bring in 9 Gold Coast reporter Chloe Robinson. Chloe, thanks for joining us. Beaches have just been closed from north of the Sunshine Coast down to the New South Wales border.
Well, good morning, and you can certainly see those effects here down on the Gold Coast. I'm here at Burleigh, where you can see the waves are very large. They're breaking relatively close towards the shore as well, which is making it very dangerous for swimmers. We've spoken with lifeguards. They've made the call to close all of the beaches here on the Gold Coast to avoid anyone getting into any undue trouble. There are some experienced surfers out here still enjoying those big swells, but the situation will continue to be monitored here today as they look to see those conditions improve and hopefully welcome our swimmers back possibly in the coming days.
Thank you, Chloe.
Now we'll go to today's Sydney reporter Bethan Yeoman at Bondi. Beth, the beaches, have they been closed in New South Wales yet?
Not yet. Last night, Bondi Beach was evacuated around 10:30 p.m. Police and SES wanting everyone to get out of the water and off the beach. This morning, there were red and yellow flags up here at Bondi Beach indicating that it was safe to swim, but they have just been taken down. Nippers has been cancelled, and we are waiting to hear from the Ironman series that is due to take place on Bondi Beach Day, whether that will be cancelled as well. We'll get an update from then at 9:30. Now, tsunami waves of nearly 1 metre have already been recorded off the coast of New South Wales at Port Kembla and near Twofolds Bay. Lord Howe Island is also experiencing unusual currents and waves. Last night around midnight, all the low-lying areas were evacuated. Everyone told to stay at least 1 kilometre away from shore. Jane.
Beth, thank you.
And this eruption was so powerful it was heard all the way in Alaska, over 9,000 kilometres away. Michael Genovese is monitoring warnings across Japan, Canada and the US. Jenna, what are authorities saying?
Dickie, good morning. It's pretty simple from where we are. They're telling us to stay away from the water's edge. It's a tsunami advisory, which means everyone needs to be prepared for the possibility of a tidal surge between 1 and 3 feet. Well, I can tell you it's already exceeded that just north of San Francisco, where they recorded a surge of more than 1 metre. Now, just south from there, a town called Santa Cruz, which is a surfing community. Well, their harbour now is almost completely underwater because of that surge. Locals have been told to leave that area, and there was a surfing competition, but that has been postponed because it was deemed too dangerous for people to be taking the waves. Where we are in Malibu, it's very much business as usual as we wait for the all clear. The Federal Emergency Management Association here in the United States, they have spoken about this. They're saying that they aren't expecting widespread damage, and everyone's hoping that we will get the all clear later this afternoon. Dickie?
Thanks, Jenna.
Now let's head over to Sarah for the rest of today's headlines.
Thank you. And more breaking news now. Novak Djokovic has arrived at his lawyer's office less than half an hour out from a federal court hearing into the cancellation of his visa. These are pictures of the tennis star leaving the Park Hotel just a short time ago, where he spent the night under guard. Former Department of Immigration senior official Abul Rizvi joined us on Today on 9 a short time ago with his analysis.
If it's unable to make a final decision, Mr Djokovic remains in detention until the court can make that decision. Now, that may well move into Monday. It could go into Tuesday, by which time Mr Djokovic's spot in the tennis may have to have been abandoned.
Meanwhile, anti-vax protesters have marched through the city. They've vowed to make a return this morning. And breaking news out of Victoria now. 28,128 new cases have been picked up in the past 24 hours. Hospitalisations are at 1,114 and 13 people have died. Specialists will soon be able to treat their hospital patients via telehealth as part of a budget boost for the health system, feeling the strain of the COVID outbreak. Live to Nine's federal politics reporter Rachel Baxter in Canberra. Rachel, what changes can we expect?
Good morning again, Sarah. Well, there's quite a few changes. This is $24 million that's been announced by Federal Health Minister Greg Hunt. One of the elements is the money will help provide free rapid antigen tests to doctors who see patients face-to-face. There will also be extra PPE provided to healthcare workers and access for patients that are in hospital to be able to pick up the phone and actually call a specialist doctor. The government is also indicating that there could be an announcement soon around COVID-19 antiviral pills. There are two that the government is looking at. They are Molnupiravir and Paxlovid. Now, both of those pills have been approved for use by the FDA in the US, and we've been waiting patiently for the TGA, the Therapeutic Goods Administration here in Australia, to approve them as well. Paxlovid, which is a Pfizer drug, studies have shown there that it helps reduce hospitalisations and death by 89%, Sarah. So certainly will be very exciting to hear that news in the coming days and weeks.
It will indeed. Rachel, thank you. And it may soon not be just humans lining up to get COVID vaccinated, with calls this morning for a furry-friendly jab to be made available. Vets across the country say they've seen a surge in requests by worried pet owners, many fearing an outbreak within animals was imminent. COVID-related complication in pets has recently spiked overseas, with animals catching the virus through contact with an infected human.